Oh, let's start the show. How are you? My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are going to get started in, about a minute. Gives me a little time to say hello, and gives you time to call the neighbors, wake the kids, tell folks about it. Check in, though. This is a program, if you haven't seen it before, I want to know who you are and where you are a deplorable from. Where can we find, where are you? Give me your name. Tell me where you're from. I like to say hi to you if I can. We get hundreds and hundreds of people. Like, for example, Eugene's in Prescott Valley, Arizona. How you doing, Eugene? Love to see you. Judy is a deplorable from Oklahoma. Cindy checking in says, hi, Rusty. Hey, Cindy, how are you? So you've got a little bit of time to check in and say hi. And then we'll get started with the big show in just a matter of momentos. Do, do, boom, boom, boom. Ba, ba, da, doop, doop. All right, now this is the official open. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now he's unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries, Rebellion Radio.
Hello, my brother from another mother. How are you? My sister from another mister. Hello, welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered by the great folks at Right Wing News, and today's show is sponsored by DerMend. That's right, DerMend, an incredible product. This here is the DerMend. Let me get up this so you can read this here. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm holding up a light blue box that says dermatologist recommended right there. And you can't just put that on there if it's not. Dermatologist recommended. DerMend Mature Skin Solutions. It's a moisturizing anti-itch lotion, and it's steroid-free, and it's specially formulated for itchy, mature skin with moisturizers and skin conditioning agents and Promoxine HCl to relieve itch and irritation. Now, that Promoxine HCl, that's the magic ingredient. And they have it in DerMend products, and DerMend products are excellent. And if you're a seasoned citizen and your skin's getting itchy, it's just not as dry as it used to be, try some of the DerMend products, okay? They're available at Walmart, Walgreens, all great retailers. If they don't have it at your store, turn right around and go to another store. That's how good it is. So go check out DerMend Moisturizing Anti-Itch Lotion. Again, available at Walmart, Walgreens, and other great retailers. Or you can find them online at DerMend.com. DerMend.com. Okay. How are you? Been a good day for me. Why is that? Oh, because Jeff Flake. Oh, I can't stand that guy. I've never liked him. Well, I take that back. Jeff Flake was a guy that at the beginning, he was a Tea Party conservative kind of senator. Oh, we need this guy. He's going to tell John McCain what for. He's going to go to John McCain. Your establishment. We don't like you, you rhino. Oh, that was Jeff Flake, right? And I don't know what happened. Jeff, and by the way, I'm in Arizona. And I don't know what happens. I don't know what kind of evil McCain mojo that McCain puts out there. I don't know if he bribes them. I don't know if I don't know what it is. I mean, of course, we all know that John McCain does look like the evil emperor from the Star Wars films. And he could be that guy. I don't know. I'm not saying I know. All I know is when John McCain infects you, it's hard to come back. And Jeff Flake is one of those losers. He put out a book not that long ago, but he's going to wait till after the books didn't hardly sell, then he's going to resign. Which, good, I'm glad. Get out. That's what I have to say. Get out. Jeff Flake. I mean, is anybody upset? How are you feeling about Jeff Flake getting out? I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic. And I think it's good for America. Good for America, I say. Let's do some check-ins and see who you are. A lot of nice folks. And for some reason, my little video computer is just getting stuck. Oh, this one's funny. Should I play this one? I'll come back to it. Here we go. You want a little Wolf Blitzer first? I think this is the Jeff Flake story. Gold Star Widow very angry at Trump's call. That's not what I want. Oh, no. This is Elijah Cummings. Well, I'll get to him later. I'm sorry. Who's there? All right, let's say hi. Cindy's checking in. Hi, Cindy. Dennis is a deplorable from Hawaii. Tennessee's checking in. Chris is in Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Chris. Jason is from Georgia. Good day, Rusty. Hello, Jason. Sammy checking in from Florida. Hello, Sammy. Eugene says we're doing great. Thank you, Eugene. Appreciate you. What else is going on? Eileen's in Kentucky. Kim is in California, deplorable. Stephen is from Newington, Connecticut. Angelina is from Narlands. Hey, Angelina, how you doing? Pamela checking in from Milwaukee. Francois is a South African from Cape Town. Hello, Francois. Well, we got a lot of folks coming in. Appreciate you. Did you see, by the way, today, Donald Trump walking into the Capitol building and a protester starts throwing flags at him? Did you see this? I'll play you the GIF. Oh, I can't. Nothing's working all of a sudden. I had it all working for you. I had this show ready to go. And then all of a sudden, something happened, and it's kaplooey. Anna checking in from Clearwater, Florida. Dawn checking in. Look at this. Everything has died. I'm going to have to reset the computer. I'm sorry. You have to look at me for a second. Hi, how you doing? Let me restart just for a second and say hi. Dawn says Jeff Flake was a fake. Yes. Angelina loves the blog. Thank you, Angelina. Appreciate that. Kim says, hey there, everyone. Michael is in North Carolina. How you doing? Monroe, Washington's where Tim is. Howdy from Texas. That's T. Wayne. Milton is from New York. And John's from Michigan. And Wayne's in Toledo, Washington. And Liberty's in Texas. And Angelina is there. Much love from Michigan. Tara says, if Flake wants to leave, then he should, but he should do it with class. Houston, Texas. Checking in. Janet's from Bellingham, Washington. Hello, Janet. Mary says, hey, Rusty, I'm back from California. I don't want to call myself a deplorable anymore. I just want to say conservative. Hope you have a good day. Okay. You know, the deplorable thing was something that Hillary Clinton started it. It's kind of one of those things where, you know, the best way to beat your opponent when it comes to a debate is use their own language and shove it right back in them. Just shove it right back. Right back at him. How you doing? Right back. Just shove it. Jason said, did anyone see the MSNBC video of the sample border walls near the border? Some illegals climbed over the real wall and have themselves up. Yeah, I'll try to get to that. Another one of the clips I was about to play, and everything was going fine. And then the computer goes kaplooey. Scott, check it in. Gregory, I have no idea what you're saying, Gregory. I mean, you might want to lay off the hooch just a little tonight. Just lay off a little bit of it. Patricia says, hey, Rusty, Jason, check it in. Raleigh says, this is the new Republican Party. Brian says, good evening, Rusty. Pamela says, in all sincerity, I don't understand the anger for a president who is truly for the people, who has done great things for us. Here's the deal, and it's very clear. The hate, okay, you got the useful idiots in the college group, the Antifa idiots, all those guys. They don't know why they're out there. Some of them are getting paid. Others just are there because it's cool. Guys are there because it's a good way to pick up chicks. That's what the 60s was all about. If you talk to any of the guys that were there, that were protesters in the 60s, it was a great way to meet girls. And it's the same thing here with this Antifa garbage, okay? The reason the establishment doesn't like him, and that's in the both Democrats and Republicans, is because if he does what he says he's going to do, drain the swamp, cut taxes, make government smaller, and so on, then that takes away the power from the elites that profit off of those things. Illegal immigration they profit off of. They profit off of a lot of things. And so they got to stop that. And they've got to make up any lie, any deceit they can to make sure that doesn't happen. So don't tell me there's not a hidden agenda. And the problem, it's not that hidden anymore. They're just not saying why they're doing it. They certainly are open about hating the president, but they don't say why. And it's because he's taking away their goodies. That's what I think anyway. How about you? Mary says, I'm not seeing the feedback. Is it my phone or your computer? Beth says, we might have a Cuban running. Yeah, Mark Cuban running. Yeah, I don't see that one happening. I mean, Mark, I know Mark Cuban a little bit, and he's all talk. He's very good at getting publicity, but I don't see him running. And then the one that was sad is Kid Rock today said, yeah, I'm not running. Heck no, I'm not running, he says. That was a little sad. I wanted Kid Rock to run. Let's see here. Michelle says, Rusty, I'm doing math homework. You want to help me? Yes, Michelle. I'm the worst in math on the planet. So yes, please put the math problem up there. I'll help. Now, I hope you don't want a good grade, but that's okay. It'll be fun. Jason says the truth doesn't sell. It's true. He said, I thought the American people were smarter than that. The masses are asses. You know, I hate to say it. It's very easy to be fooled. And it's sad. All right, let's take a listen to Jeff the Flake on with Jake Tapper from CNN. And what did he have to say here on, let's play it here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
At one point you write, quote, to carry on in the spring of 2017 as if what was happening was anything approaching normalcy required a determined suspension of critical faculties and tremendous powers of denial. It's a pretty strong thing to say. Yeah. What do you think Republicans, conservatives, Americans should be doing?
Well, there are two parts of conservatism. The first, I would argue, is policy. We've always adhered to limited government, economic freedom, individual responsibility. Barry Goldwater in 1960 felt that the party was straying from those principles, and that's why he wrote the original Conscience of a Conservative. I think we're facing a similar crisis now, where we've kind of, as Republicans, taken up an unfamiliar banner this populism and, in some cases, xenophobia, anti-immigration, protectionism. That's not familiar to us, and I don't think that is a governing philosophy. So on the policy side, I think we have an issue. But also, being conservative means, particularly in foreign policy, that you're steady and that you're measured in your use of diplomacy and force, and predictable, and that we embrace our allies and recognize our enemies. And that, I think, has been lacking, and I'm concerned about that.
Do you ever notice that these guys that are always the sellouts, either they're really liberal or they're rhinos, you ever notice they're all wussy sounding? Well, I think that our country has now gotten xenophobic and done lots of bad things, and I don't think that that's the way to go. Give me a break. Give me a stinking break. He has no huevos. He's not a manly man. I want a manly man in there running the country. I want somebody that's going to stand up and say what they believe. I want somebody that's going to do what they believe in, not just do what they think is going to be good for them, their political buddies and their payoffs. I want manly men. Huevos. Jerry says, Raleigh says, you're a fake, a flake, and a fraud. A triple F. Yes, he is. Jerry says, do you see anything normal going on in D.C.? No, and that's what's good. Don't you see? Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the? I'm sorry. Let me turn up. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It's a little sucking sound. It's the draining of the swamp. That's what it is. It's right there. I mean, and then it's always these guys that that Donald Trump, he's so offensive, and the things he says hurts people's feelings, and because of that, we need to stop him, and because I can't stop him, I'm gonna quit, but I'm not gonna quit right now. I'm gonna quit after I've done as much damage as I possibly can, because he hurts people's feelings. Populism, really? How about it's anti-BS? That's right, Jason. It's anti-BS. I'm tired of the crap. You're tired of the crap. It's the lies that we're tired of. It's the lies. You know, the uranium story finally starting to come out. We've been talking about Russia and uranium and the tie-in between Bill Clinton going to Vladimir Putin's house, getting checks, giving speeches, and then magically we sell 20% of our uranium to Russia. Of all people, Russia! I mean, why not send 10% to North Korea? And the only people that made a whole bunch of money? Clintons. And that wasn't a story when she was running for president. No. That was not a story. Now it's kind of a story. And Congress is kind of looking into it. The only one that did collusion with Russia was Hillary Clinton. But that's not a story. So the question's going to be, at what point are we going to stand up and hold these people accountable? And again, this isn't a new story. We've been talking about this for a long time. There's a very good column on Breitbart today. You can find it also at Right Wing News here on Facebook, sure. But it's a very good one. And I want to share it with you here. I hope you don't mind. It's a story about 7 things you should know, 7 uranium-1 facts that every American should know. What is it we're talking about? Well, Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration find themselves at a center of an explosive scandal involving the transfer of 20% of all U.S. uranium to Russia via the sale of the Uranium-1 company, just as 9 foreign investors in the deal funneled $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. $145 million. I don't want to brag, but that's more money than I made last year with everything combined. That's $145 million? I didn't even make that. With everything. $145 million. Not a story, though. Nope. So here are the 7 facts about the Uranium-1 deal you need to know. Peter Schweitzer broke the Uranium-1 scandal. Yes. He did it in a book called Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped Make Bill and Hillary Rich. Not only was that a book, they even made it into a graphic novel that a friend of mine, Brett, made. Did a very good job with it. But this is a story we've been talking about for a long time, and just finally now the media is looking into it. Sorta. Number 2, the New York Times confirmed the scandal in 2015. The New York Times, not the most conservative paper in the world, confirmed Schweitzer's Uranium-1 revelations in a 4,000-word front-page story by a Pulitzer Prize investigative reporter detailing how the Russian energy giant had taken over a Canadian firm with 3 separate purchases between 2009 and 2013, largely coinciding with Hillary Clinton's time as Secretary of State. Again, no story here. Pay no attention. Next. The FBI uncovered evidence that Russian money was funneled to the Clinton Foundation. This was reported last week, by the way. The Hill reported that ahead of the deal, the FBI uncovered substantial evidence that the Russian nuclear industry officials were engaging in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering to expand Russia's nuclear footprint in the U.S. as early as 2009. Agency also found that the Russian nuclear officials had routed millions of dollars to the U.S. to benefit the Clinton Foundation. Now, people go, well, how do you know Hillary couldn't have been the only one that signed off on it? And there was 9 people that had to sign off on it. And Hillary, she wasn't president or nothing. They all were betting the farm that Hillary was going to be president. They were betting the ranch. They didn't know Trump was going to come on. Everybody thought it was going to be Jeb Bush. I could have beat Jeb Bush, okay? My daughter, who's 17 years old, it's even illegal for her to run for president. She could have beat Jeb Bush, okay? So they just knew Hillary was going to win. Thank God for Donald Trump. All right, the next part. Congress is now investigating. Senate Judiciary Committee has launched a probe into the scandal and has sent requests for more information to 10 federal agencies involved in the approval of the partial sale of Uranium One, asking what they knew about the FBI investigation and when. Oh, speaking of that, it's not Mueller. Comey. Comey's thinking about running for president. Oh, remember when Trump can't fire Comey. He is not a political guy at all. No, Comey he's just wonderful. And Mueller, these are the best of the best. Yeah, we're finding out more and more about those two guys too. All right, here's the latest. Just a couple more of these things that you need to know. Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 for a speech in Moscow. Clinton got $100,000 for a speech in Moscow, paid for by a Kremlin-backed bank, shortly after Russia announced its intention to take a majority stake in the company. According to the New York Times, Clinton traveled to Moscow in June 2010, the same month that company struck its deal for its majority stake in Uranium One. Now, why, again, not only is the money important, but let's also not forget, when Hillary was up for Secretary of State, the whole thing was, well, Bill Clinton is going to stop giving speeches until she's not Secretary of State anymore, and they sure as hell aren't going to take a bunch of money for that Clinton Foundation. That's off the table for like a day. And then they just ignored it and couldn't have cared less. Let's see. I will read some of your comments here. Patricia's not seeing comments. Patricia, we see your comments. No angry faces, please. Facebook thinks you don't like the show. Oh, thank you. Patricia says, crazy, Rusty. I can't see the posts. I'm seeing your posts. I'm seeing you. All right. Almost done with this story. It is important. The Clinton Foundation took big money from uranium investors. According to the New York Times, the Clinton Foundation received $2.35 million in donations from a mining investor who was also chairman of Uranium One. It also received $31.3 million and a pledge for $100 million more from a Canadian mining financier whose company merged with Uranium One. And finally, Senate Republicans want an FBI gag order lifted. Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley of Iowa has called for the Justice Department to lift the gag order on the FBI whistleblower, indicating he may have more explosive revelations related to the case and what the Clintons and the Obama administration knew, and when did they know it. This is a big deal, if you ask me. I think it's a big, big deal. And I'm glad the New York Times is covering it. I just can't, I mean, there was no evidence that Trump was colluding with Russia. And how many times did we hear Trump and Russia, Trump and Russia, Trump and Russia? What the Democrats are very, very good at, and you may be a Democrat, oh, Rusty, they don't do this. No, they do. And here's the thing. They're very good at projecting. They're very good at projecting messages, things that they've done in the past or things that they do or things that they're thinking. Antifa. Well, if you voted for Trump, you must be a racist. No, you Antifa SOBs, you guys are the racists. You guys are the fascists. You guys want to run the government. You want to tell everybody what to do. You guys are more like the Klan. I met a lot of conservatives. I met a lot of Tea Party guys. I've never met one a Klan member once, ever. Ever. And any time that there was somebody at a Tea Party rally that was saying, oh, I'm with the Klan, always kind of found out that they were a leftist. They're trying to cause trouble. Just saying. Comey for president, what a joke. Yep. Hillary is the biggest mobster since Capone. I remember when the people had to get off the property near where they were mining the uranium. In Oregon, maybe? Didn't some men who were leaving get shot to death? I don't know about that one. I don't remember that story. My man, Rusty, great talking to you. Got to take my mental medication, okay? Leona says Comey won't get my vote. You don't think? Beth said he had to pay for his lap dances. Yeah, I bet Bill Clinton could go through some lap dances. I bet he could. Let's see. Joe says Salem's in the house. Let's see. Jail them all. All 5 previous presidents are raising money for 6 victims, right? LOL. I'm not sure about that comment. And here's Susie, you're right. I don't doubt anything the corrupt Clintons and Obama would do. My thing that I don't doubt is I don't doubt that nothing's going to happen. I would love to see something happen. I just don't trust these elitists going after their own. They never, ever do. And then we wonder why the swamp doesn't get drained. And you wonder why a guy like Donald Trump gets elected. Because the people are sick and tired of this garbage. It's just like Hollywood. Oh, we're sick and tired of Hollywood. We're sick and tired of this. Oh, Harvey Weinstein, I didn't know anything. I'm Matt Damon. Matt Damon. And I didn't know. I ain't know nothing. Matt Damon was really, really close. I mean, really close with Harvey Weinstein. Really close. But he ain't know nothing. According to him, he don't know nothing. Never saw anything about Harvey Weinstein. Although now the problem is that people are start going, Matt Damon, you're an idiot. Of course you knew. So now Matt is coming out with a statement. I haven't watched it. Thought I'd do it with you. Let's see what Matt Damon has to say about his old best pal, the guy that got him into the business, Harvey Weinstein. And you know there'll be some excuse. Here we go.
I was there kind of that was the height of his power. And what you knew back then was, I mean, you had to spend about 5 minutes with him to know that he was a bully, he was intimidating. That was his legend. That was his whole kind of MO. Like you know, could you survive a meeting with Harvey? Could you stand up for yourself with Harvey? And the people who worked for him were like, you know, I'm coming here to make good movies. Miramax was the place, really the place that was making great stuff in the 90s. So when people say like, everybody knew, like, yeah, I knew it was, you know, I mean, he was proud of that. You know what I mean? That's how he carried himself. And I knew he was a womanizer, you know, I wouldn't want to be married to the guy, but like, I'm not, you know, it's not my business really. But this level of criminal sexual predation is not something that I ever thought was going on. Absolutely not. I knew the story about Gwyneth from Ben because he was with her after Brad. And so I knew that story, but I was working with Gwyneth, with Harvey, you know, on Ripley.
Tom Ripley. Tom Ripley? We were at Princeton together.
I never talked to Gwyneth about it. Ben told me, but I knew that they had come to whatever agreement or understanding that they had come to. She had handled it, and she was, the first lady of Miramax, and he treated her incredibly respectfully. Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah. Harvey would talk to me about women that he'd had affairs with. I didn't necessarily believe them, quite honestly, because to believe them would be to believe kind of the worst of some actresses who were friends of mine. And I didn't really think that they were going to have affairs with Harvey, quite honestly, and clearly they didn't. But the idea that this predator, this assaulter, was out there silencing women like that, it's beyond infuriating. And the fact that the story is coming out now, and the more it comes out, I want to know all of it.
If there was ever an event or something that I was at in public with Harvey, and he was doing this kind of thing, and I missed it, and there's some woman who was somehow assaulted, and it was at the Golden Globes or something like that, and I somehow missed it, then I'm sorry.
How do we change?
There has to be a comeuppance for all of this, all of the people who are part of that chain. And then we have to make it safe for people to feel that they can talk about this. And in doing that, I think that'll scare away that kind of behavior. But more than anything, you're going to have a warning shot over the bow of anyone who would act like that you will be outed and you'll be out of the business, and more than that, you might be prosecuted. I talked with my wife about this, and she said, she could find, in her line of work, which is human rights law, there have been plenty of instances where some guy has tried, to make their move. Some guy in power has tried to make their move. Many, if not most women, have at some point in their life faced this kind of behavior. I think that's a little bit of a surprise to some of us, that it's this big, that it's this prevalent. And maybe that's something else that's good that comes out of this, is that we're going to have these discussions, we're going to have this conversation, and again, we're going to make it harder for it to happen.
Okay. Do you buy the stuff that these guys are talking? Do you buy it? Do you buy that they're sorry? Do you buy that? Oh well, Hollywood, we're gonna turn over a leaf now. Oh man, we are gonna change. That was George Clooney. He's one of the biggest playboys in Hollywood ever. Oh, I messing around with women? Well, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Ronald says, no, Rusty, more like cigars. He asked you if I still smoke cigars. I haven't smoked a cigar in a while. I just don't, I just haven't been in the mood for them lately. I used to smoke cigars all the time. I don't anymore. No biggie. What else? Comey running for president. He should be in prison. Again, they never go after their own. That's what's funny about it. Never. It's always a different thing for you and me than them. What else? Roy says, don't worry, people. It's liberals that did this, so nothing will come out of it. It isn't nice to have such a corrupt government working for our best interest. Okay, I'm not sure if you wrote that quite right. I'm having a hard time following that one. Leona, wow, really? Nobody knew there? Nobody? Really? Yeah, they knew. Patricia, they're both full of blank. Yes. Well, I guess we can count on Flake and McCain giving a no vote on the tax bill. Don't forget to add Corker out of Tennessee, too. Again, they're all in it for headlines now, because if you go after Trump and you're a Republican, you're going to look great in the press. The press is going to love you. And McCain and Flake and Corker, they got nothing else. They got nothing. So the only thing they're going to go for is they're going to do anything they can to make things difficult for the Republicans, to get things done, and to make Trump, try to make Trump look bad. You know this is happening. I know this is happening. Let's see. The Russian uranium one is bigger than anyone thinks. If the Justice Department would give immunity to just one key witness, many will fall. This is as bad as the Rosenbergs in 1953 espionage on the nuclear weapons design with Russia. By the way, Rusty, don't forget to pack a crucifix for Count Dracula on your Romania trip. Have a good time. By the way, so yeah, I'm going to be gone on Thursday and Friday, traveling, going to Romania. One of my businesses is I am a media trainer for big corporations and VIPs. And, hey, if you have a company that's looking to craft better messages, I'm expensive. Most people can't afford it. But if you've got one of those companies, send me an email, rusty@rustylive.com, and let's see if I can help you out. But so I've got a important businessman, and he lives in Romania, and I'm going to go there and hang out with him and teach him how to craft messages and whatever. I love doing it for conservatives, people that want to craft a good message to get Americans' attention. But this one's more of a business one. But one of the cool things that we're going to do is I'm going to try that. The time zone is crazy. It's really different. Let's see. Let's see here. I have, what time is it? It is Eastern time, 9:36 p.m., right? Chicago, 8:36. I'm in Phoenix, or the West Coast, 6:36 p.m. In Romania right now, it's 4:36 in the morning. Ew. So I don't know if I'm going to do it live or not. I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I like you and everything, but getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk to y'all, I don't know. But one of the things I want to do is on Halloween, we are going to go to Transylvania, and I am going to shoot some video from Transylvania on Halloween, and I will try to get that video up. It may not be live, but we'll post it, okay? And make sure you go to my Facebook page. Would you? Have you found my page? So I'm working with the nice folks at Right Wing News, right? And they're great people, and I love them. But my own Facebook page, it's one you should go. Make sure you go and like, too. It's, let me just type it out here. Just type in Talk to Rusty. See if that pops up. Nope. It's supposed to. There we go. There we go. And there's my name, Rusty Humphries. That's the one. I've got, some people think I've got a personal page, a couple other ones, but this is the big one. And you just type it down. Look for me in the blue shirt. Man, the internet's slow today. Those crazy kids in that internet thing, slow. But just go to this page, look for my pretty face, look for this little thing. I'm not changing it for a while. And then just make sure that you likey. I likey, Rusty. I likey. I likey. And that way, and then make sure you go check there because, Facebook isn't doing the best job of letting you see the stuff. So you got to sometimes find it. But on Halloween, I'm going to try to be at Transylvania and see what that's really like. And maybe some mystery will be solved, and I'm sure Scooby-Doo and the gang will be there. Gar, Scoob, we're in Transylvania. That may have been the worst impression I've ever done. It's in the top 5 anyway. Let's see. Mike's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. How you doing, Mike? Kathy says, I'm at the point I just don't believe anyone anymore. Sad, isn't it? Well, Pamela says if they're from Hollywood and their lips are moving, they're lying. Well, they're actors. Randy says, remember the old college and high school rules about cheerleaders, right? I do not. I hope it's not bad. I don't know what rule you're talking about. James says, we need another man like Elliot Ness, untouchable and not afraid to jail all the criminals, no matter how much they have in the bank or how much power they have. Amen, brother. Amen. Matter of fact, give me some thumbs ups and some hearts right now. Would you do that? I don't think I've asked for any. I haven't asked for any shares. Where are y'all at today? Give me some shares. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Give me some thumbs up. Let's get this video out today. I'm kind of disappointed. Normally we see a lot more people on. Maybe it's Tuesday. I don't know what's going on. It is interesting how sometimes Facebook just doesn't want to get it out. Doesn't want to get the message out. Shh, don't tell anybody. We're conservatives. We tell the truth. We don't believe in fake news. So we must be silenced. I'm being silenced. I'm going to keep this mouth flapping. This mouth is going to be flapping. But if you don't hear it, if you don't share it, you don't let people know about it, doesn't matter if my mouth keeps flapping because nobody will know. So I need your help. We got to get the message out. Okay? Please. Speaking of a message that does need to be put out, this is going around, and it is a little bit concerning. It is a sign. It's a poster that is being passed out. Flyers. On November 4th, 2017, we will take to the streets across this country. And we will stay there day after day, night after night, not stopping until our demand is met. What is the demand? This nightmare must end. The Trump-Pence regime must go. No, in the name of humanity. No, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Which is exactly what they're fighting for. That's what refusefascism.org and hashtag Trump-Pence must go. So, Mary says, why do I keep hearing about Antifa declaring war? Because they are. I mean, they're basically calling for the overthrow of a duly elected government because their chick didn't get elected. And by the way, I want to know whose job it was to shave Hillary Clinton's back every day. Man, that would be a job I would not. Oh, it was bad. Oh, it was bad. Sorry. I'm being awful today. Ronald says, who is on whose payroll? Because I heard the Clintons are not going to give back the money that Weinstein donated to their foundation. Why isn't the Clinton Foundation under investigation? And Chelsea might be running for a Senate seat? Say it ain't so, Joe. Yeah. Jerry says, World Series going on, Rusty. They are all standing. Long Flight could overnight a book if you so desire. You'll love it. Jerry, I'd love to read the book. Jerry's an author, and I haven't had a chance to get the book, and I apologize, Jerry, but I'm going to work. I'm a working fool. Thank you, Leona. Thank you for getting it. Mary says they have guns and knives and will beat up conservatives. Antifa is a terrorist organization. They use violence and threats. They terrorize people, hence the term terrorist. They terrorize people into giving in to their demands. I believe they should be outlawed, not because of I disagree with what they have to say. I believe they can say whatever they want. I want more points of view, not less. The difference is that they choose to use violence. And when you go from the realm of the physical, realm of the mental, into the realm of the physical, and you commit violence, you've gone too far. You know, just another one. Oh, this is just a wacky protest. This wasn't some wacky protest. Oops. Oh, boy. I'll come back to it. Darn internet. Yeah, some guy, a protester, threw a Russian flag at President Trump today as he entered the GOP policy lunch. It's funny. Again, we have no proof at all about Trump with Russians. We got all kinds of proof of Hillary and Bill Clinton with Russians, and that's not a story. Why aren't they throwing flags, Russian flags, at the Clintons? The Clintons made money. All right, here's the guy throwing the flag here.
To help creators like...
Yeah. And he threw the flag. Look out. And look at that. I gave Trump credit. Take a look. He didn't even flinch. Doesn't even flinch. Go ahead. Throw me your flag. I'm in. Let's go. Dumbasses. Jim says that Antifa wants to be the new government. Michelle says, are they going to have a scream fit next month? Oh, yeah, they are. Dennis says they're only demonstrating in sanctuary cities. Is that right? I didn't notice that. Could be. Yes, we are the troublemakers, Jim. Yes, that's the truth. It's us bad conservatives who just want to stand up for trying to make this country a better place, for not trying to fundamentally overthrow the government. And again, there are good Democrats, and there are places where we can have honest debates and honest differences. That's okay. That is. The problem is that today's leadership in the Democrat Party are not Democrats. These are socialists and also communists. Oh, we don't use that term anymore, Rusty. A communist, that's old. Because they don't want you to use the term communist. Because they know it doesn't sell. There are good Democrats. And the idea of bigger government taking care of more people, I understand that dream. I don't happen to believe that it works, but we can have that conversation. The difference is these socialists and communists want government to take over all of your choices. They want government to be all-powerful. And we can't let that happen. I believe in our freedoms too much. I believe we have the right to succeed and the right to fail. Failing sucks, I know. Failing sucks. But see, their government programs aren't going to prevent you from failing. They're just going to make it so that more people fail. That's not right. All right, Jeff Flake is out. Matt Damon's an idiot. What else was in the news today? Antifa's trying to take over stuff. Clinton and the DNC. Oh, that's another one. Another good story on Drudge right now. Clinton and the DNC paid for dirt and the Russian dossier. Remember that Russian dossier where Donald Trump was supposedly with a bunch of hookers, and then they found out that, well, it wasn't quite as true as they thought it was. And somebody in the government leaked it. I'm looking at you, John McCain. Looking at you. That's the word, is that it's John McCain. Does that surprise me a bit? No. But now it appears the Hillary Clinton campaign, and by the way, this is from the Washington Post. This is not a conservative paper. This is a very liberal paper. The Clinton campaign and the DNC paid for research that led to the Russian dossier. The Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee helped fund research that resulted in the now famous dossier containing allegations about President Trump's connections to Russia and possible coordination between his campaign and the Kremlin, according to people familiar with the matter. Mark E. Elias, lawyer representing the Clinton campaign and the DNC, retained Fusion GPS, a Washington firm, to conduct the research. After that, Fusion GPS hired dossier authors Christopher Steele, a former British intelligence officer with ties to the FBI and the U.S. intelligence community, according to those people who spoke on condition of anonymity. 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 That's a tough word. Anyway, come to find out, it was a bunch of baloney. And again, mainstream media quiet. Shh. Now it's, oh, well, Hillary lost, so why even go after her? Because they've been criminals for decades. It's time. It's time we shut them down. All right. Mike says, my grandparents were Democrats, but I'm betting they would be Republicans in today's America. Yes, because they probably loved America. They didn't want to blame America first. I'll bet you your grandparents wouldn't have taken a knee during the national anthem. I bet you they would have been appalled. I bet you they would have been appalled at the way that our military is being used as a political pawn. The families of soldiers who were killed in war being used as political pawns. No, there's no God-fearing, America-loving person that would support that crap. Nobody. John says he's going to start calling me Trusty. Thank you. Scott says Antifa's poster where they're going to be. Anyway, all right, well, I'm done. Hey, do me a favor, would you please? Would you support our sponsors? Tonight's sponsor is DerMend. DerMend moisturizing anti-itch lotion. An awesome, awesome product. Also, don't let me forget to tell you about thetoymaker.com. What is thetoymaker.com? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Toymaker.com is a website that is created by a great artist, Marilyn Scott Waters, and it's folding paper toys that you make yourself. You just get these toys online, you download them, and you hang out with the kids. And what's great about this is there's all these great projects you can do with your kids or your grandkids, whether it's stuff for the holidays. They've got holiday stuff, Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving, birthdays, Christmas, Chanukah. Heck, they even got Kwanzaa. They got Purim, the story of Esther. Happy Canada Day. They got a world's best dad. They got one for me. Anyway, go there and check it. Also, sign up for the newsletter, would you? Get on the mailing list. Find out how they can do things for you. They'll give you a free monthly paper toy update, and just a great way to be involved. And again, these are good people, and I ask you to support them. Would you support them, please? I'd sure appreciate it. Again, that's thetoymaker.com. Thetoymaker.com. Also, WaxRx. WaxRx, get those ears cleaned. Now my daughter's going, I got to get my ears cleaned. Well, we'll get you WaxRx. My daughter turned 17. We're going to clean her ears out. Don't have to take her to the doctor because I got WaxRx. This is the same ear washer purchased by doctors and clinics. It's pH conditioned. It's an ear wash system. Looks like this on the inside. And again, clean your ears at home with a system like doctors use. It's a multi-step system, and it works. I know because I've used it. That's waxrx.com. Code word Rusty. WaxRx, code word Rusty. That's it. May God bless you. May God bless America. I'll be there tomorrow. And then Thursday and Friday, I'm gone. Check out my podcast, The Rusty Humphries Rebellion, on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play. One other great podcast, Blunt Force Truth, hosted by my good friends, Chuck Woolery and Mark Young. They're good guys. Go and support them if you would too. And Liberty One TV. We're going to start working with them. You're going to start seeing the show on Liberty One TV, and you can find them all over the place. We're going to get to know them better and tell you more about them. Until then, though, I'm done. May God bless you. May God bless America. I'm Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. You rock. I appreciate you. I really do. You're cool. Thanks for hanging. Tell your friends. Share the video. Share the podcast. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, dude. Thanks, dudette. You rock. You rock. No, you do. You rock. You do. You rock. Thanks. Bye.